regardless of how I was feeling or looking, when inspiration hit me, I would make a video. And so this is that. I've got a cold, I'm slouching in the chair, looking like a slob. But stay tuned to see how I made my stickers. I'm sure there are easier ways that I could be recording this, but I guess I don't like things easy. I just want to make it as difficult as possible. I'm gonna start screen recording. I've never done this before, so we're just gonna see how it goes. So first things first, we want to go into Silhouette Studio. I'll make this big and pull up a blank page. You want to turn on the registration marks. I'm using a business edition, so if things look a little different to you, then sorry, that's just because I had this from like a previous lifetime. But then you want to go down here and turn your registration marks on, and it's going to be type 1 for Cameo, Portrait, or Curio, and you'll see the registration marks come up. I also want to change the page size, so that's in the top. Let's see, where do I go to change the page size? Oh, this little page thingy, and I want the size to be 8.5 by 11 because I'm going to print on 8.5 by 11 sticker paper. So you can see that this is the entire representation of the mat that you put into the Cameo, and then this is the space that you'd be working with. So I heard that most sticker papers, or the little stickers that you buy from somebody's Etsy shop or whatever, are about 4.5 by 6.5. So I'll make a rectangle and I'll draw a little box. I'll go back to the pointer so I can click on it, and then go to this little thing where I can change the dimensions and make it 6.5. We're going to unlock it so the ratios don't change automatically. 6.5 to 4.5, and that is going to be the final size of my sticker paper. I've seen other people just cut the page in half with with a line, but I like it like this. So I copy and paste another one, however you choose to do that. I always like to use Control V and Control C for copy and Control V for paste. And then I will make these here. Another thing that I did on the little stickers that I made is I put my logo on top, or not my logo, I just put Made by Amber because that is my little name. .co, not .com, because I don't have a .com. I lost the .com through Facebook fraud. Somebody said they were going to help me with my website. I paid them $200 and they ended up taking my money. So can't always trust folks. Now, anything that you put in here, I'm going to change this to black, you want to be really mindful of the line colors. So this is a line color here. Oops, Made by Amber. I can spell my name. So here on the side, on the right, underneath the palette is the line section, and I'm going to change that line color to black. Oh, I've got to select it and then change the line color to black. And I'm doing that because when you print, you can set the red color lines to print completely through the paper. And in my case, what I'm about to do here, the purple lines will kiss cut, so you can easily pull off the sticker. So I like this. I don't even know what the heck I'm going to make. I'm just going to make something. So that's how I start. And I make sure that the Made by Amber portion is not something that is cuttable. So it has a black line. I'll be cutting red and purple lines. So next is my wording. I am in love with the font Magnolia Sky, just like everybody else. Let's see, what did I think? Oh, I wanted to do podcast. I'll say podcast time. I want to remind myself that it's time to record another podcast. And I like using 2 different fonts, so I like Magnolia Sky on the top, and Magnolia Sky is such an interesting, I'm going to change the character spacing to smush in just a little bit more. 95, I think. Yeah, I just don't like the way that looks. I might have to make 2 of these. Hang on. We're going to get rid of that and make a cast over here. And then we're gonna smush them together the way I want them to look. This font definitely needs to be welded before you do too much else. So once I have it the way I like it, I'm gonna weld those shapes together and then group it, because the P is all by itself. It's not connected to anything. And then the time, the few stickers that I've made so far, I've just done them in marker felt. So I used the colors that were already, excuse me, strike that, reverse it. I used the words. I do have words in my vocabulary. I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, I'll edit that out. Or maybe I won't, because this is just for you. Who cares? I want to take a chunk of this time out. My favorite way to do that is to select offset. And I offset it by 0.05. Why? Because I saw somebody else do it in a video, and that's the little area that they put around all their stickers, and I'm just a follower, what can I say? And then you have to take it off. Now all these little bits and pieces in the middle, like, they're all well and good, but I don't want them there, so I'm going to go up to object, and I'm going to release the compound path, which makes everything separated. I'm going to hold the shift down, and I'm going to click on the part that I know aren't the bits and pieces, so it can deselect that. And then all the bits and pieces are now highlighted, and I'm just going to hit the delete button to get rid of those. And then I'm going to center my podcast time together, and then I'm going to take this podcast outline and kind of go down to where I might want this to be. I think I have to put this in here so I can see. Yeah, something like that. That's what I'd like. I grab my outline and I make sure that it is brought to the front. I use the shift button and click on time so that they're both highlighted, and then I go over to my select and I subtract all, and that's going to take a big chunk out of the time, the word time. And I'm going to go ahead and put my podcast, oops, I moved the wrong thing. This is all very, very meticulous work here. I'm going to put my podcast word back where it's supposed to be, and then I'm going to click that outline and get rid of it. And I'm going to group these two things together and then make them a bit smaller. I forget on these other stickers, how big did I make them? My work stickers are about 0.89, so about an inch across. So, oh, I wasn't making the work stickers. I wanted to make hexagon stickers. And the hexagons, let's see, I'm going to ungroup all these. Hello, about an inch. I'm just going to copy these. Really, my goal in recording this was not to like show you guys this part anyway. Really, it's up to your own imagination. You can do all the things, make all the planner stickers that your heart desires, and these were just some of the ones that I wanted to make for myself. Oh, I hate it when that happens, when it grabs the middle instead. Anyway, we're going to size this so it fits inside the hexagon the way I like it. And that's that. So at this point, you can replicate them to your little heart's desire and put them all in where they need to be. The one thing that's great about, well, there are a lot of things that's great about this. First of all, the fact that you can make whatever sticker you desire, unless you don't know how to draw, which I don't. So there's still stickers that I'm going to have to buy or purchase. But, you know, they're expensive. And I just want to sit and plan all the things. I don't want to have to like buy and then wait for the happy mail. I guess, especially with this, the planner that I have, the Petite planner, it's just not, oops, I totally ruined that. Let's not. Okay. Oh my gosh, I keep grabbing that thing in the middle. Anyway, let me just stop talking and do this. You can cut whatever you need whenever you want. You don't have to wait for your stickers to come in the mail. If you need a sticker, you just make the sticker. So that's what I'm doing now. So anyway, you would make your sticker sheets. You would do top and bottom if you'd like, but you could also cut the bottom half and then do the top half later. It'll save your sticker sheet, it'll save the registration marks, and then you can use the top half for whatever you want. So that's what I'm going to do now, because I don't really need 2 pages of podcast time when my podcast isn't even created yet, and when it is created, it's going to be like a once a week thing. Oh my gosh, has it really been 11 minutes? I'm going to have to edit this like crazy. Anyway, the first thing you'll do is go up and print. So we're going to do that now. We'll take our sticker paper from the labels online, and I just bent the crap out of that. That's all right. I'm going to put it in my machine. When I opened the package, I found that the top is the sticker part. So my area needs to be reorganized. I'm doing a whole lot over here. I don't know if you can see this, which you can't if you're watching the screen recording. Maybe that's the best thing, because this is all kinds of drama. Anyway, you print the sheet, and it's thinking because there's a whole lot to it. Here it comes, y'all. And then you've got the sticker sheet. Now, it does not have the hexagons on it. It just has the words and, more importantly, the registration marks. My silhouette is very used. It's probably about 10 years old. So at this point, I could probably turn off the screen recording, but I've got 2 things recording at one time, so I think I'll just let it ride. Because my machine, my mat is so old, I like to put tape down. I found that if I put the tape directly too close to the registration marks in the top left-hand corner, that it won't read my registration marks, and it will say registration marks fail. Of course, I could buy a new mat, and that would alleviate that problem, but I'd rather spend my money on online labels because this stuff was not cheap. Anyway, I tape it up, and I'm going to put it in the silhouette and get ready for the next thing. So I'm going to load the cutting mat, and now it's ready to go on. So I'm going to go back to the screen now and show you what to do. So if you were paying attention, you may have noticed that the words, let's see, I may have to click them all off. Why don't I group them? I think that's what I did the last time, is I grouped all my wording, and after it printed, at this point, I really didn't need the words there. And we're going to make sure that the wording's lines are black, because anything in red is going to cut all the way through. And because I'm not cutting this right now, this portion, I'm going to make that black too. I could have just left it off and done the stickers at the top, but I'm doing the extra most here. I mean, this is supposed to be an easy tutorial for you. Sorry, not sorry. Hashtag LOL. So this part is no cut. The podcast time is a no cut. The Made by Amber is a no cut. And this is where the fun begins. We've got things that are way off. You know, I think the way I printed this, it's going to cut these off at the bottom. So I'm going to make a command decision here. You can't move anything much in this, because if you move it around after you've put the registration marks on it, it's not gonna cut. So this is the space that it's cutting in, so I'm just gonna go all the way down. It'll just cut off. It won't try to go beyond the mat. This is the fun part. You go up to, so we have everything that we need to be cut there. You go up to line, and you've got 3 different line colors. We can uncheck the black because we don't want to cut anything that's black. I'm assuming that there is capability to do this all together, all at once, but I do everything one at a time. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut the inside. So I want to cut the purple. And here's where you change the material. And this is important. You would think that if you saved this document that it would keep your settings in there for the stickers, but it doesn't. And that kind of sucks. So every time you go in, you have to let it know what you're doing. And I want it to kiss cut so that I can peel out the stickers. It's not going to cut all the way through the paper. So I'm going to do the kiss cutting, and I'm going to click on send and look at everything. It looks good. And the first thing, by the way, the online labels instructions suggest that you should have your settings at 222, which means it does 2 passes. And I'm going to not do 2 passes. No, I'm going to keep it. I better keep it. Who am I playing? Let's just keep it the way it is and make sure that it's going. And then you hit send. And let me show you what it's doing. It's been about 3 minutes and my stickers are done. Don't know if you can see that. Probably can't, and I have no idea what you're looking at. Back to the screen. Stickers are cut. Woohoo! Now we want to cut the outside, and that's if you're trying to be fancy like a sticker shop and just do them like 4.5 by 6.5. But really, these are just for us, so who cares? But I've unchecked the purple and I've checked the red because now we want the red to cut out of the bottom. So I can just show you what that looks like if you want to get fancy with it. And we are going to tell it not to kiss cut. We want this to be sticker paper, but we want to cut all the way through. So sticker paper white. And I have found that my blade is probably like super old. So I put it on a force of 30, a speed of 8, and a pass of 1. I'm pretty sure they said you don't need to do all that, but that's what I do. And one thing that I didn't say, which probably goes to, you know, it's something that you should always do, is check where your blade is. Like mine needs to be on 2. Make sure that your blade is on the right setting. So it was. So we're gonna go ahead and send this and let it just cut out. What it does is it looks for the registration marks again. So it'll go through the top square, it'll go to the bottom, and it'll go to the other side. And that is what's going to make it completely line up perfectly every time. So that's the cool part. And I almost didn't even need to go back to my screen for this. Now it's going to cut out the box. It's going down. And it went past, I don't know if you remember on my screen, it went past where it needed to be. But that's the end. So I'm going to take this out and show you what we got. I can stop recording my screen because that's all she wrote. And it has cut out my sticker sheet. Remember on my screen, the bottom portion went beyond where it says it was going to stop printing. So like I said, these are just for me. You would want to plan a little better. But I've got some nice stickers that come up off of the sheet. So that's how it's done. And I'll have these to use in my book. What else did I want to say to you? Oh, you could also buy some like Heidi Swap foil and put foil in it and put it over a laminator. That's the thing that I'm going to do next. But I hope this helped a little bit. Probably not. But the more people you see doing it, hopefully the easier it will seem to you. If I can do it, you can do it. So good luck. forgot what I was doing. But I am with my silhouette. This thing is ratchet and old, but it still works, so why upgrade? You like my silhouette decoration? Did you cut the mirror image? Now let me start my screen to record so you can see all of that.